Welcome to the I Don't Active Health Show with your host Khalil Smith, and I have Zay Scott here, and we're going to be talking about SEO and the importance of it, and how anyone can implement it in their business to grow. So we're going to talk about it right after this introduction. How are you doing today, Zay?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking, Khalil.
That's wonderful. But today I want my audience to learn more about SEO, how to use it, how to implement it, but especially what it is. But before we get into that, I want to know a little more about your background and how you got introduced to it.
Well, I grew up in a household where my father was into computers. And when he was graduating from high school, his mother encouraged him to pursue the study of computers. And so he started with computers with the punch cards and the mainframe and the vacuum tube. And so I grew up in a household where as soon as the newest computer came out, we had it. We had the Atari, we had the Commodore. Eventually we had a Mac. And we've had all kinds of discs. I remember floppy disks when they were black. And they had like the tape in the middle with the line. So yeah, I was one of the first kids in my class to turn in a type paper. And I learned how to type before junior high. And I've just been into computers. And, you know, I didn't want to do hardcore computer science software development when I was at MIT. So I did the business. I was always interested in business and technology. And website development became a passion of mine, along with SEO. So that's how I got into it.
Yeah, I saw that on your page that you offer that service and a bunch of other ones, digital marketing, web design. And those are definitely things people need nowadays with everything going to the internet. And it's all about presentation, how you present it, how you recruit customers, how you keep them on your page. That's amazing. But I also saw that you did music. Tell me about that.
Well, I'm also a violinist.
Okay.
When I was in fourth grade, I started playing violin. And I still actually, right before this interview, I was rehearsing.
I was just about to ask that. Do you still do it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I also play in the music ministry of a church that I'm a member of. I'm a member of Greater Harvest Church of God in Christ in Long Beach, California.
Okay, that's amazing that you kept that going on, especially if you have a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to talk more about what is SEO and how do you go about talking to your clients about it, as well as integrating their business into it.
Well, search engine optimization is what SEO stands for. And it's just a fancy way of saying that, you know, explaining how to tap into the traffic that Google has. You know, anytime you go to your sink and you turn on the water and you take a cup and you get that water, that's what SEO does. SEO takes the cup, which is your website, and puts it into the stream of traffic, which is Google, so that you can have all the traffic that you want.
Now, I love the way you simplified it. Okay, but I do want to get into so with that being said, how do people take steps to do that? With so many names out there, so many things people could search.
Yeah, so you know, understanding who your ideal prospect is and how they talk about your products and services is key. Like once you really understand how people are talking about it, then you can start to do the research because Google actually has through its own AdWords platform and other tools, third-party tools, you can search Google's database to see who's searching what when. So there's Google Trends. There's also the keyword planner. These are free tools that you can use to understand the landscape of search for your products and services. So when you understand how your ideal prospect is looking for your products and services and how they're starting to talk for it, then you can start to brainstorm and delve deeper into that. I always like to use fashion as a as an example, because when you talk about, say, dresses, you have different styles of dresses, you have different colors of dresses, and so everyone is searching for specific things at a specific time. So the more you can drill down and be more specific with your keywords, the more traffic you'll get and the higher you'll rank, because the longer tailed keywords typically have less competition. So if you have a sleeveless short black dress versus just a black dress, you'll be able to capture people with a higher likelihood of purchasing your short sleeveless black dress than just someone who's looking for a black dress, because you don't know what style of black dress do they want. Do they want a casual one? Do they want a formal one? Do they want a cocktail one? Do they want one for business? So the more specific you can be in your brainstorming, then you can pull that data from Google to determine if that key phrase is worth your time and energy going after.
Okay. I think I understand it more. It's kind of what they do with billboards and foods. If you put food, it's good if you're hungry, but if you put soul food or Chinese or anything, you may tap into their taste buds of
Right.
that
You get
future
more
customer.
specific. Exactly. The more specific you are, the better. Absolutely.
Okay. Let's talk about other than that, let's say if their business not in clothing, let's say they're a personal trainer or someone in they're selling products such as certain services, maybe health coaching, life coaching. How do
Mhm.
you help somebody in that category as far as
Yeah,
SEO?
so there's people looking to gain weight, there's people looking to lose weight, there's people looking to increase their metabolism rate. There's people who are looking for, cardio, low impact exercise, high impact exercising. So I mean, there's different categories of health and different things that people want to do to get to their desired health outcome. One thing that I always like to do with my clients is take a look to see what questions people are asking online that are related to their products and services. And doing an audit like that is always a really great idea to do. So if you're into personal training, you can always go to a tool like Answer the Public. They give you one free search a day, and you can kind of pull what questions people are asking. They don't give you the search volume, but they definitely give you an idea of, give you a mind map of the things and related searches and questions that people are asking online. So you definitely want to craft a content strategy that's answering questions that are relevant to the specific people that you serve.
Okay. Um, how do you? So let's go into web design. When you have a customer come to your website and they want a website, I mean, they want their website design and they have this idea. How do you go about that interaction? As in, like, how's that conversation goes? What do you talk to them about
Mhm.
in order so you can get the most information possible so you can provide the best service?
Yeah, I think, one of the things that I like to do first is to really understand what the desired outcome is and what they want the website to look like. Recently, I had someone want a quote for a website project, and I was given some numbers. And building a website is your online storefront. So you can't rent a storefront or renovate a storefront for $200. Like, you're not going to be able to get any, and I don't think anywhere in the United States for that much. So just like with a website, when you add different functionalities, membership areas, uh, payment processing, different options, different types of users, this is custom programming that is required. So I like to really understand what the requirements are, and then from there, we're able to quote for special web application scenarios. If it's just for a simple e-commerce or brochure website, that's the prices are on our website at SEOqueen.com.
Okay. Um, what are the benefits of SEO from the results you got with your clients? Like, yeah.
The benefits of SEO are really wide ranging. So Google has multiple buckets of search. So you have your all results or your web results, you have your news results, your image results, and your video results. And so when you can optimize your brand for all of those across the board, you can really boost your visibility in a huge way. And that's what our signature SEO programs are designed to do, is to get you on Google page one in the web results, news results, image results, and video results.
Okay, so you said you have a program just for that to teach people.
No, we have a done for you service.
Done.
We have a done
Okay.
for you
Okay.
service. Mhm.
And you said people can find it on SEOqueen.com.
Yes, yes, SEOqueen.com.
All right. Sounds wonderful. Um, what is your favorite thing about doing like in your business? Like, what do you look forward to the most when you go about this?
Ooh, I love that question. The thing that I love the most about SEO is that it's the same process, but every scenario is different. No two companies are alike. Their products and services are different. Um, Typically, the challenges that they face or the gaps that they have are unique from one to the other. They all need the same things, the content and code lining up with Google's algorithm. But I just enjoy, the new things that I get to learn, and also the business owners that I interact with. And it's just a very collaborative relationship, and I enjoy that.
That's
Mhm.
amazing when I see people enjoy what they do. That's a well question. I did write something. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I did want to get into. So once you develop the page and everything, you make it. Do you help people with bringing on like testing it out, testing out the website to see if it
Oh,
actually bring on
absolutely.
visibility? How do you go about that? I know it's all
Right,
about testing and nothing
right.
works for
So
sure.
when we are designing a website, the first thing we do is we have a questionnaire that we have our clients fill out. Once we understand what they're what they're looking for, the functionalities, then we can start doing a mood board. So we can identify the colors, the fonts, and the style of images that they want for their brand. Once we've done the mood board, then we build a staging site. The staging site is where our clients can see it being built in real time. And this is where all the testing happens. Once all the testing happens there, then we launch it. Once it's approved for launch, then we launch it where it's live on their domain name. And then we do another round of testing to make sure that from the staging site to being made live, that everything works properly. And so that's the website design and launch process in a nutshell. Hmm.
Um, do you have any mentors?
Yes, I do.
I would like to know about that. I know, like a lot of time, people they have their businesses, they follow a blueprint. It's always good to look in some. I like to talk to my audience and tell them how valuable it is to have a mentor or a book or just the resources, because
Right.
might be someone else who want to do what you do. And
Yeah. So, I think, one thing a lot of business owners do is they underestimate the power of the right investment. And I think investing in your business, investing in yourself as the founder and CEO is always a game changer, and is always, the biggest ROI that you can get. And so I have literally, like, there isn't a check that, a price that we charge that we haven't cut to our mentors and other people who have supported our company over the years. And my mentor, Mr. Benny Randall, has he's been really inspirational and really invaluable to my success with his help and advisement along with my other mentors, we were able to not only um, get to the point where we're a six-figure business in revenue, we actually were able to generate what we did in all of 2020 in the first 4 months of 2022.
Oh,
So,
congratulations.
so the growth has been massive. The mentorship is awesome, and the other thing that we did during this time of transformation and is we really doubled down on our own SEO. When I first launched the SEO Queen in 2017, I was very busy, you know, going after customers, going after clients, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks at one point. It's like, when the pandemic hit, it's like, we really have to, during this time where we don't have a lot of clients and everything, we really need to uh, double down on the SEO. And so we have a very aggressive SEO, internal SEO strategy that we are deploying right now. It has not been without its challenges. We've had some personnel changes, but God be the glory. I think the team is following directions now. I tell my team all the time, I don't say things just to hear myself speak. I'm very serious about what I do. I'm a professional. I'm an SEO expert. I'm always on the latest journals, Search Engine Land, Search Engine Journal. I've attended the events. I've been in the room with the people who drive the SEO strategy of Disney. So, I mean, you can't get any better than that information when you're pulling from iconic brands and that strategy. And so I can honestly say that I have been a sponge and investing in myself, investing in my company, investing in working with my mentors has been um, an investment that still yields its dividends. And I'm definitely a proponent of mentorship.
I love that response. It was amazing. But I do want to ask you, when you started your business, how did you feel when you did start it? And what
Well,
made you keep going? The momentum, like that part.
you know what? In 2012, when I was working for a small agency in Michigan, and I tabulated how much revenue my book of business had generated. And I counted it up, and I was like $500,000 in recurring revenue. And I was looking at my paycheck, and I was looking at $500,000. That was a year in my life where I was working harder than I'm working now, and I was taking home less than $40,000 a year, and I was on food stamps, and that was a time that was very frustrating, and I dare say it was humiliating too. Having 3 degrees, two from MIT, one from University of Michigan Ann Arbor, and I just knew something had to change, and so I decided to just a series of events kind of pushed me out on my own, and I launched my first agency in 2012. um, Life happened. I ended up shutting that company down in 2015 and rebranding and re-envisioning, reimagining what I wanted my company to be. And that's how the SEO Queen came to be. And it's been an awesome journey. I think my only regret is that I didn't start sooner. I wish I would have started really, focusing on my company full time, like out the gate. There were some years where I, worked for other people, and um, yeah, I think the the time that I have invested in myself has been, a game changer, truly.
Yeah, that's incredible to hear. Some people don't do that. They don't believe in themselves enough to take that chance, go on that edge, take that jump. So that's an amazing story. Like you realize like what you were doing, your self worth, that you're worth so much more. You can earn so much more. You can give so much more value by doing it on your own and
Right,
just learning, going out there, taking a chance on yourself. So
right.
that do lead me to my other question. Leading from that, how important is realizing your self-worth in yourself. Like you said, like looked at your check and you look at what the company was, what you were earning for the company, and you
Mhm.
realize you need to make a difference, a change.
Right, right. And I think for me, the self worth journey has been it's been it's been a trip. I mean, there's no other way
I applaud
to
you
put
for
it.
it.
It's been like wow. I mean, as a child, I was in, I think it was junior high. I was in junior high, and this teacher said to me, "I don't see anything spectacular about your playing." And, as a child, when I heard that, I was irritated, but, I took that as fuel. And years later, I earned a degree in music from MIT. As an artist, my music is out on different platforms, but also as a professional and an SEO expert and a technologist, I've been able to impact so many business owners. And uh, that has just been awesome for me. When I was told to sit in the corner and do your work, little girl, different corporations I've worked for over the years, I knew there was more to life than that. I wanted to be in an environment where I could be creative, be a leader, contribute. And, I have gotten that and all the accountability that comes with it. And I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world.
Want to ask you, how did you realize that for your company that I needed to double down on your own SEO, even though that's what you do for other companies? Like sometimes it's easy to see it in other companies, other people, but
Mhm.
it's hard to see it in yourself in your own company, which you're not doing right.
Right.
How did you
But
realize that and attack it?
I've always wanted to really invest in our SEO. And, the SEO strategy that we're implementing for our company is, if we were to do it for another company, we would charge $250,000 to do what we're doing. And we're definitely implementing it a little bit slower than we would for a paying customer. But um, I realized that I didn't want my company to be like other SEO companies who are touting that they do SEO and they do this and that, and they're nowhere to be found. Now, there are a handful of SEO companies, which I won't name, that do invest in their SEO, and I am inspired by what they're doing. I peep that game that they putting out there, and we definitely do our own flavor here at the SEO Queen of getting the SEO Queen out there. So I'm just pleased. I was looking at our visibility the other day, and I'm definitely happy with how visible we are, and I think we're on track. Compared to how young we are, we're just at 5 years. We're definitely in a great position to really, grow rapidly in the years to come.
All right, I can see, I can see it. I love your page, by the way. But
Thank
that
you.
you led me to another good question. Goal setting for your business. Um, how did you go about that when you started? Like sometimes it's hard to see where you want to be, like 5
Mhm.
years. How did you go
Right.
about that? Like the first 3 months, six?
Goal setting is something that, for me, I think the first goal that I had with my business was just to make, six figures in a year. That was like my biggest goal. And I had that for many years. And we finally got close to it. We got close to it in the end of 2020. And it was then that I was like, okay, so if we did this in a pandemic, let's take it up a notch.
That momentum right there.
Right. So that momentum was everything. And I'm just really grateful and blessed. And, I think, Beyonce said it best, just staying a student, staying humble, being hungry has been the key. Because, there's as we're reaching our goals, we enjoy it, Trust and believe, we do enjoy it, but it's on to the next, and it's on to just taking that momentum and building on that. That's how I look at goal setting.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, one of my mentors said that it's all about being a student. You never know everything. Don't let your ego get in the way, and just being driven and keep going. Let that momentum roll.
Right. Yeah, I was talking to my mentor yesterday, and I said, said, Coach, I have no ego here. I need help in this area. Like, break it all the way down. Like it's just something is not right. It's not working. And he was able to really break down where the weaknesses were in the execution of my process. And so I was really happy about that.
It's amazing when you can just be vulnerable like that, and if you don't know something, say you don't, and then have the right people around so you can learn.
Right. I think, having a therapist as an entrepreneur, I believe you should have a therapist and you should definitely have a coach. And my executive coach and my therapist have been a tremendous support. And just having that support network is so awesome, because you can't always count on your friends and your family to support you in the way that you want to be supported. But what you can control as an entrepreneur, you can pay professionals who are good at what they're doing to help you, support you in those areas that you need extra support in. I hate to go back to Beyonce, but when I was watching the Homecoming documentary with her, I noticed that she had a nutrition coach, she had a dance coach, she had a movement coach, she has all these things. And it's the same as an entrepreneur. It's like when you're performing at a high level, you need a SEO coach, you need an SEO team. You can't just go on Google and think you're going to just pull all these. There's over 200 factors that need to be considered. And if you can hire someone who knows it like the back of their hand, who can cut the time to the goal by more than half, then
It's a good
it's a no
investment.
brainer. Because business, this is the thing about business, and this is why a lot of businesses go out of business in less than 5 years, because they think they have time. And when you are in business, it's execution is critical, because you only have so much time, only so much capital, only you have a finite amount of resources. I mean, I was just looking at the news of recently, and all the gains that Amazon gained over the pandemic, they've lost because there's so much volatility in the stock market right now. And so, as a business owner, it's really important for you to continue to look ahead and to look in and watch the market and adjust to that. So you don't go the way of Toys R Us and Sears and so many brands who did not invest strategically, specifically in digital marketing, and now are either non-existent or
Blockbuster.
yeah, Blockbuster. That's another one. They did not pivot digitally. Radio Shack. Radio Shack was another one that I think Radio Shack is owned by Ty Lopez now, but they don't have any more stores nationwide, and so nothing has changed with far as people's need for appliances and electronics parts, but the way people purchase these things has changed. And that's why I started out this interview emphasizing knowing your avatar, knowing your buyer persona. That right there is so important. You can't just say, "Oh, I service everybody." No, you have to drill down and be as specific as
I feel like you're
possible,
talking to me. That's how I
so that
was last
can
year.
you can craft your messaging and your marketing in an effective way. You can't say that you want to market to, Black women living across the United States and put your ad in Marie Claire. No, you got to go where the melanin resides. You need to put that ad in Essence, Black Enterprise, right? I mean, that's just an example of just one case, but you really need to think about where your competition is in. Think about where your ideal avatar is What keeps them up at night? You have to think about these things and incorporate that into your strategy so that you can have long-term success. One other thing that I want to say before you go to your next question is that I think a lot of business owners think that um, you can drive, you can build a 6 or 7 figure business with no investment. No, it takes more than your sweat equity to move something forward. You have to cut those checks, even if it's uncomfortable, because that'll it. Yeah, there's a whole model behind
I
that,
was about
but
to let you
I'll be
go.
quiet now.
You're fine. But I did want to talk to my audience. I wanted to see if, let's say we have a sole entrepreneur watching right now. They just
Uh-huh.
had an idea, maybe a logo. What 5 steps would you give them going forward? In this scenario, let's say they're doing products and services. Maybe they're selling makeup and hair. What steps? What 5 things would you tell them to do in like a blueprint for steps?
Well, I think one of the things that's really important for something like hair and makeup is, excuse me, sell the product person to person. You can always go to like a farmer's market or get a booth at an event and get information. Ask people when they purchase why. Start to gather information so you can really understand what your buyer persona is looking for and what they want. And so once you have that information, then you can begin to craft a website. You can craft a website and your brand and tweak it in such a way that speaks to them no matter where they are across the country. And so I think, if you have a tangible product that you can, instantly, spend, less than $1,000 for a booth at a major event and have your wares there, that's a great opportunity to gather market research and to gather email addresses. Having an email list is so important. So important. Don't be one of those business owners without an email list.
And gems. I like the buyer persona part. Talk to your customers. Like I used to do that with clothing. I just thought they bought from me because they liked me. I'm like, did they really like the clothes?
Yeah, you have to ask and find out.
But yeah, you're right. You gotta ask.
And don't be scared to ask. Don't be scared to ask. Ask.
My next question. You already talked about this, but how valuable it is to have a good team? Because sometimes you can't do everything by yourself. You see a lot of people trying to do everything themselves, talk to themselves, answer their own questions. But I know you said you had a team, so I want to see how valuable that is.
Yeah, having a team is really important. In order to maximize your team, you have to have standard operating procedures. You need to take, as a business owner, what's in your head and pull it out and itemize it. Think about Henry Ford when he created the factory. He had an assembly line, right? This person put on this part of the car, put on this part of the car, put on this part. And so that's with your whole process. You need to have it lined up like an assembly line. And that's what I've done with my team. And so because we're clear, we can swap people out, as necessary, or as, people come and go. But, the SEO Queen is there because we have those standard operating procedures. When I was in business school, we talked about the codification of institutional knowledge. And even though this is a, Fortune 500 strategy, it still is relevant to small businesses. You definitely want to codify how you do what you do on a daily basis. You want to have the steps written out so it's easy for you to pass on the task to someone else. Codification is such a game changer that I don't even do the interviewing and hiring for some departments in my company. I don't, because I've handed it off, delegated. And as a entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a business owner, you are self-employed until you can build a team, until your team can do sales and fulfillment. Without you still self-employed. And so that is the goal. You really have to be strategic and methodical about putting those standard operating procedures in place, taking what's in your head, what's in your mind, and being able to let go of being a control freak. Like that, it's been so hard. But you have to be creative and to enforce the quality. And you have to invest in training your people, because what's intuitively obvious to you is not intuitively obvious to your team members. And you really have to communicate and spend the time investing in training your team. And investing in your team, like investing in mentorship, is a game changer.
Where do you see SEO Queen in 5 years? What are your goals?
In 5 years from now, we'll be a multi-million-dollar corporation with a distributed workforce, helping Black-owned and women-owned businesses all over the world get their share of the 2 trillion searches that are happening on Google alone.
I love that. I love that. Okay. What? Give me 1 second. I wrote something else that I want to ask you. Actually, yeah, it's about time to get into. I like to do an add-on active health round, where I just
Okay.
ask all my guests a couple of questions about themselves.
Okay.
So my first question for you, uh, what is your purpose in this life?
My purpose is a good question. So, from a music perspective, I am to share my gift of music. And my other purpose is to help businesses grow and to just let my light shine.
Okay. Simple, and I like the value.
Mm-hmm.
My second question is, I know as a entrepreneur, sometimes you get overwhelmed with stress a lot. What do you do in your life to like lower your cortisol levels, your stress levels, in like everyday life?
Well, I've informed my son of what he does that increases my cortisol levels. So he's aware, and he has been encouraging me to go to the gym. So I've been going to the gym, and I must say, I've been going. I have a black card at Planet Fitness, and I love those hydro massage chairs. Oh my God. I was sitting in that chair earlier today, and after my workout, and I was just like, it's a game. It's like I like the Body Angel machine and the massage chair, the hydro massage chairs. It's taking the time to work out has been very important for my mental, physical, and emotional health. And I'm at the area where I'm putting it on my schedule. I'm blocking that time out. I'm not just letting it. I'm being extremely intentional about it. And I even worked out on my vacation when I went to Jamaica last month. So
Oh, that's
I'm
amazing.
getting back into it because for a while I was doing good. I was gardening throughout the pandemic, and then I caught COVID and kind of got a little lazy. But and just pulled in so many different directions. But now I'm really holding space for myself to take that time so I can go to the gym, and I feel so much better.
I love hearing when people say that. I tell that to my clients all the time. Uh, Decide, like being intentional, plan it and schedule it. That's the only way you're going to accomplish it. I feel like that applies to business too.
Right. Absolutely.
But that does lead into my next question. What workouts do you like to do to stimulate your mind and your body? Like you said, when you go to the gym, I don't know what you like to do.
I like weightlifting. I like the treadmill. I like to dance. I want to get into martial arts.
Okay.
Yeah, but I really like to dance and weightlift. I've been doing a lot of treadmill and weightlifting lately.
That's great. Yeah. And muscle. So that's the key to get
Yeah,
that skeletal body muscle up.
yeah.
My next question is, what foods do you like to eat to stimulate your mind and your body that give you energy rather than take it away?
I love Honeycrisp apples. Um, my chef, she makes arugula salad for me almost every week. Either that or Caesar salad, and arugula salad. Those are my two favorite, and fruit salad,
Oh,
three favorites. So
three
I like
favorite.
that. I like fish, poultry. Um, yeah, and I drink. I don't drink any soda. I drink tea and water.
Oh, they're definitely good choices. Before I get into my last question, where can people find you at?
You can find me at seoqueen.com.
And what other services do you provide on SEOQueen.com?
I have SEO tools, an SEO glossary, a blog that has a plethora of topics that we touch on, from uh, keywords to content to link building. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll also see the videos that we put out on a daily basis. I think the video I put out, it was either yesterday or today. I talked about internal linking, what that is, and how important it is, and how to apply that strategy on your site. You can also go to SEOqueen.com and click on Speak to the SEO Queen and get a complimentary strategy session with me, and chat with me one on one. And yeah, so that's oh, and also, of course, you can actually purchase all of our SEO packages directly off the website. Just go to SEO. It's SEO resources or SEO business. I stare at the site all day long and don't remember. It's SEO solutions for business. SEO solutions for business. And then you can also purchase tickets to our conference. We're doing a conference in Long Beach, California, about 15-minute walk from the beach, on July 23rd, 2022. So you can purchase tickets for that as well.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. If you're listening, you need help with your business, building your website, using all these resources, go check it out, SEOqueen.com. And my final question is, what do you like to do to start off your day in the morning? I think like a morning routine is always like, what makes your day?
Prayer.
Okay.
That's it.
Prayer, that's it.
Mhm. That's what I start my day with. Simple.
That's amazing. That's amazing way. All right. I just want to say thank you for coming on the Eye Active Health Show. It was a privilege to talk to you, learn about your business, and just your journey. Very inspiring. I love what you do, and I can't wait to see you accomplish all your goals. And I'm gonna tap into your website right after this, so see what I need help with. I know there's a couple of things I do need to get good at, better at. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate the invitation. Thank you again.
All right, thank you.